Let's learn about the storage unit. Storage unit. Storage unit. When I say storage unit, then I mean the secondary storage unit. Because the RAM means the main memory cannot be used for storage. The ROM is for a special purpose, for the firmware. You cannot store your data in that. Okay, ROM means read only memory. Okay, that are supposed to be read only. Of course, you can update them occasionally, but the main purpose of ROM is to read from the ROM, not to write on the ROM. So ROM is the read-only memory. RAM is volatile. You cannot store something into the RAM. Cache memory is also volatile. Okay, you cannot store your song files in the cache memory. Those are only 4 MB or 10 MB in the size. So for the end user, storage unit is hard disk drive or SSD. That is the secondary storage unit. Okay, so whenever I say you storage unit, that means I am talking about the secondary storage unit. You store your data, your program permanently on the secondary storage unit. Example of the secondary storage unit is hard disk drive or SSD, as you know. Okay, so used for permanent storage. Permanent storage of data and file. Used for permanent storage of data and file. Okay. The second point about the storage unit is the capacity of storage unit can be measured in KB, MB, GB, etc. The way in which we measure our main memory capacity, we measure the capacity of the secondary storage or storage unit in the same way. So let's talk about few most common storage devices. And the first one is hard disk. Okay. So I will show you a picture of the hard disk on the internet, and of course all credit goes to that website who has uploaded this picture. So let's search for hard disk drive, and go to the image, and here you can see, look at this image. Okay, the all credit goes to the Computer Hope website. I'm not taking any credit from them, and this is the open image in the new tab, and see here how it looks. There are various magnetic disks. All the platters you can see here are the magnetic disks. Okay, and there is a head which goes on the disk to read, and there are actually multiple head. You can see there are 3 disks here. The one head is on the upper surface, and you can see the other head is going inside, and there will be a third head which will be going in this area. So the hard disk drive is the stack of magnetic platters which can be read by the heads. Okay, you can store the data on the hard disk as making the material of the disk as magnetized or non-magnetized. Suppose that the meaning of the magnetized is 1 and meaning of not being magnetized is 0. So by magnetizing or not magnetizing a magnetic material, you can store various data on the hard disk drive. Now look at a different picture. Let's open this picture in the new tab. All the credit goes to Lab IT Wiki. Let's open this picture in the new tab, and now you see here the axis on which these plates revolve is called spindle. The head revolves around the axis. The arm on which head is connected is called actuator arm. The head is here. and this is the disk surface. This hard drive has 4 platters, you can see. One head is here, other heads are going inside the disks. When you magnetize a magnetic material, you can read that as 1, and when you do not magnetize a magnetic material, you can read that as 0. So this is how the hard disk drive works. I think I have explained everything about the hard disk and no need to write here anything. So let's see other form of storage unit, other form of secondary storage unit, that is called compact disk. Compact disk. Compact disk uses optical media. The compact disk, also called CD. CD uses optical media to store the data. Let's see how the compact disk work. Let's search for the compact disk. Press enter. And this is the compact disk. You must have seen the compact disk. The normal size of one compact disk is 700 MB. Okay, but how the compact disk store the data? Let's search compact disk pit and fall. So this is the compact disk, and actually this is not called fall, this is called land, pit and land. Okay, so let's open it. This is how you store the data on the compact disk. Of course, all the credit goes to Engineers Garage. You can go to this website if you are interested. So this is how the compact disk store data. What happens here is you will have a laser. Using the laser, you will burn the disk surface. Okay, when you burn the disk surface, then this cavity is called land and this one is called pit. So you have various pit and land. So on your disk, you have various pits and various lands. Now look at this picture. The credit goes to the physics world. Idea is that you have a laser beam, but okay, don't look at here. Look at here. Okay, this is the very good picture. So you have a laser beam and you have a sensor. The laser beam fires the laser and sensor receives the laser. When the laser beam fires the laser and the laser collides the surface of the compact disk at land, then that laser gets reflected to the sensor. But when the laser beam fires a laser and that laser collides the surface of the compact disk on pit, then that laser does not reflect to the sensor. So if the sensor is getting the laser, that means it is reading 1, and if the sensor is not getting the laser, that means it is reading 0. Okay, the credit goes to your dictionary. This is how the compact disk stores ones and zeros. So more thin the laser beam will be, more accurate it can read the pit and land. Suppose that if laser beam covers from here to here, then the laser beam will not be able to distinguish between land and pit. So that will be a bad laser beam. Okay. So the laser beam should be as thin as possible. That's how you will have more pit and land, and if you have more pit and land, then the storage of your compact disk is more. We will see it, don't worry. If you are not getting my words, we will see it. Now look at here. Look at here. Suppose that you fire the laser beam and laser beam hits the surface of CD at here. Then after reflection, the laser beam will go to the sensor. Okay. Suppose that you fire the laser beam, but instead of hitting the surface disk at here, the laser beam hits the surface disk in this much big area. Will you able to distinguish between a pit and a land? No. Okay, so laser beams should be as thin as possible. If you have very fine, very thin laser beam, then you can accommodate more pits and lands on the same disk size, and that's how if you have more bit and land, you will able to store more data on the disk of the same radius. Okay, hopefully you are getting my points. Suppose that I have bits and lengths are very close to each other. So if I have bits and lengths very close to each other, then my laser beam also should be very thin to distinguish between bits and lengths. That's what I am talking about. Now the compact disc have three main types. One is called CD-ROM. Okay, this is called compact disc read-only memory. Compact disc read-only memory. Read-only memory. Okay, the second one is CDR. This is called compact disc. Compact disc recordable. Okay, and the third one is CDRW. That means compact disc rewritable. So as name suggests, CD-ROM is the read-only memory. CDR is recordable, but can be recorded only once. You cannot record it for the second time. CDRW can be recorded multiple times. Okay, so this is the difference between various CDs. After the CD, you have other kind of storage unit that is called DVD. You may not distinguish between DVD and CD. Okay, DVD means digital versatile disc. DVD stores 15 times more information than CD, and the DVD is 20 times more faster than CD. DVD is 20 times more faster than CD. So the storage capacity of DVD is much more than CD, but the DVD looks like CD. Can you say me why? Why the storage of DVD is much more than CD? Can you say me why? Because the density of bit and land in the DVD is much more than the density of bit and land on CD. Okay, and of course the laser beam of the DVD is much finer than the laser beam of CD. That's how on the disk of same radius you can store 15 times more information than CD. Okay, because their bits and lengths are very dense and the laser beam is very fine. Again, the DVD has three categories. One is the DVD-ROM, the same as for CD. Okay, DVD-ROM, DVD-R, and DVD-RW, the same as CD. Okay. After that, we have something called flash memory. Flash memory, like our pen drive. Okay. So your book actually do not discuss about SSD. So I am also not discussing about the SSD. But the SSD, the technology of SSD is very much similar as flash memory. So the flash drive is a small, ultra portable storage device with solid state memory. Okay, that means there is something spinning in your hard disk. There is something spinning in your compact disk. There is something which is spinning in your DVD. But there is nothing which spins in the flash memory. And since your book is not talking about the SSD, I am also not talking about the SSD because I am going through your syllabus. Okay, the class 11 syllabus. So this is the flash memory. After that, your book is writing about Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray disc is much more dense than DVD. looks like CD and DVD. Okay, the Blu-ray disc has same dimension as CD and DVD, but the pits and lands on the Blu-ray disc is much more dense than the DVD. And on the Blu-ray disc, you can store up to 128 GB of data, while on the DVD, you can store up to 7 GB or 10 GB of data. But on the CD, you can store up to 700 MB, 500 MB of data. So you can think how dense the pit and lands on Blu-ray disc. So we are done with the discussion of the storage unit, and we have to discuss something which is called the system bus.